What up? It is Marcus's Dynasty with Ads. We are going to do the top 20 in Dynasty rankings. And we're going to be doing this because it's going to be a long 4th of July weekend. You're going to probably get this either Friday or Saturday here before the 4th of July. With the 4th of July, I'm not sure when I'm going to produce the next video. But it's going to be sometime next week. Could be Monday. It could be the Wednesday. It's not going to be on 4th of July. Maybe it'll end up being put on 4th. It'll be produced on the 4th of July. Or it'll be actually put on YouTube. Whatever. I don't know. I might not even have service up north. I'm in Minnesota, but I'm going to a lake cabin. So I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to have enough service to actually upload a video. It just might sit there in the processing phase. Like it's done in the past. And so we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll do a short here or there just to continue to keep putting content out there. But let's get into the top 20 here. Enough of me rambling on. Number 1, this is super flex. We're going to go with Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the number 1 player. He's 27 years old. Gosh, it is fun to have a top 3 pick. Top 2 pick, really. You got Mahomes. You got Mahomes being number 2 here. We'll just kind of go through it. But Mahomes is number 2. Last year, we had it was pretty much pick a top 3. You have Allen, Mahomes, Herbert. And now I would say Mahomes and Allen feel a tish safer than Herbert. And now you could almost put 3 and 4 in kind of a little bit of a tier by themselves. They're like, you have like 1, and then you have 1, which is Mahomes and Allen. You could literally put them 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. And then you have like a 1A group, like a group that's almost there. But these are kind of the 3, 4. If you have a top 4 pick in Superflex, it's pretty dang easy in startups. Number 3, I have Herbert. So number 1, Allen, 2, Mahomes, 3, Herbert, 4, Burrow. So 3, Herbert, 4, Burrow. Again, I think these 2 players, when you have 25, 26-year-old players, this is peak quarterback time, and I see no risk, I think, of having these quarterbacks be great quarterbacks for the next 10 years. I think all these 4 players are the easy 4. And then we start to get into some questions here. And so I want to go through this not super fast, but number 5 is where we get to our first positional player. And it's going to be Justin Jefferson. Woo, skull. I love myself some Justin Jefferson. He is doing what no other wide receiver has ever done at the NFL level. He is producing more yards, more catches than any wide receiver has his first couple of years. That's more than Moss. Chase got a little injury through there. Yes, Chase beat him out in the rookie year. There is more risk when it comes to JJ on being the fact that he could have the risk of not having Burrow his entire career. So some may say, hey, we want Chase ahead of JJ. Honestly, I just feel like JJ is a slightly safer pick. Now, he did have a little bit of a towards his last couple games of the year, and so did Chase. But Chase, I feel like, is that guy that is going to get you these games where it's 7 catches, 240 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson, I feel like, is going to get you some of these consistent, always going to get you this 100 yards, going to have a touchdown every other game. You're going to look up and go, crap, he's got 1,800 yards and 8 touchdowns. That is the type of wide receiver that you can't replicate that. So anyways, JJ's my number 5, but if you want Chase, I get it. Chase is not my number 6. This is, again, tier. So, 5 through I would say 8 is a tier here. So 6 is Jalen Hurts. I go back and forth. Do I like Hurts above the other quarterback at 8 that I have? Do I not? Right now, yes, I do. He has all the weapons in the world. Devonta Smith. He has even DeAndre Swift now, who's a pass-catching running back. He's got Kenneth Gainwell, a very good pass-catching running back as well in college. You have Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. You have all of what you could potentially do, and he can run like a madman. Jalen Hurts is so safe when it comes to his rushing floor. And it's not like he rushes the ball like Jalen Hurts or like Justin Fields and kind of gets hurt, or even Lamar. It's like he is the goal line running back. He's a bigger body quarterback that can squat 700 pounds. I don't know, that might be an exaggeration, but that is why he's here at number 6. Number 7 is Jamar Chase. Rookie records here has Joe Burrow for as long as you can think of, probably. it just is a great connection. And Jamar Chase has shown that he's a boom or bust player at times, but when he booms, he wins you weeks. And so when he's on your roster, when he booms, it is very hard to beat a Chase-led Dynasty roster when he goes off. It's like, I've been on the other side of it where it's all of a sudden you're like, man, Chase has like 40 points. Like, this sucks. My wide receivers, three of my two wide receivers and my flex combined for 40 points. So that is what Chase can give you here. Again, a tier. So if you had him at 5, I totally understand and respect the decision here. Number 8, we're going to finish off the tier, is going to be Trevor Lawrence. I absolutely love Trevor Lawrence. Love Trevor Lawrence. Been trying to trade him and trying to trade for him in Dynasty as much as I possibly can. Even after his rookie year, I was like, I believe that was an Urban Meyer mess up. We've seen Peyton Manning struggle his rookie year. We've seen Andrew Luck struggle his rookie year. We've seen every elite quarterback struggle his rookie year. I mean, you just look back at it. Dan Marino struggled his rookie year. All the good quarterbacks, besides basically Patrick Mahomes right off the gate. Josh Allen struggled his rookie year and even benefited his sophomore and junior year. Like, Trevor Lawrence is that guy, in my opinion. So Trevor Lawrence, number 8. I really want him there at 5. I really want him there. If we see this, honestly, if we see another really good year out of Trevor Lawrence, because he has all the weapons, he's got Ridley, he's got Kirk, he's got Ingram, he's got Travis Etienne, he's even got Tank Bigsby out of there. I mean, honestly, he could easily move up into that Herbert Burrow. I mean, we could be talking in 12 months that he's the number 3 quarterback behind Allen and Mahomes. Honestly, if he has a really, really good year, you could be talking about him being the number 1 overall prospect in Dynasty, which you can't say that to many of these quarterbacks. But with his age, you could sit there and go, okay, 5 years difference, 4 or 5 years difference. I want Trevor Lawrence, who just had a QB3 performance on the year. That is something that could totally happen because Trevor Lawrence has some really good mobility through there. Number 9, let's start off a new tier. It's Bijan time. So Bijan Robinson. We're going to take Bijan Robinson here at 9. He's the number 1 overall running back. He's a generational type talent. I think worst case scenario, he turns into a Saquon Barkley type year that you get injury plagued. And still, Saquon Barkley is for most people a top 20 player, and you're getting still at 9. So like the drop off is not going to be a ton. Even look at Kyle Pitts, who's done horrible his first 2 years. I would say generally horrible. I mean, he had 1,000 yards his rookie year, didn't score like any touchdowns. But Kyle Pitts has been a huge disappointment. Still, Kyle Pitts has not dropped off more than 2 rounds. I mean, you are looking at extreme safety here, where there's some other players that if you take, they could fall off a little bit more. Number 10, Breece Hall. I love Breece Hall. He's got injury. He's recovering from an ACL injury. He's my RB2. I think Breece Hall is every bit of what you can get from JT. I think he's just on a better team. And I think that Breece Hall, you get an extra year of age. And so that's the biggest thing that matters there. So Breece Hall at 10. Number 11, Lamar Jackson. I've been the Lamar hater for the longest of time. But, I mean, he's 27 years old. I mean, Lamar Jackson... he's been so injury plagued. I mean, honestly, 11 is a really tough spot of like, 11 is where I'm going to put him because he is a risky player that has been hurt so much the last couple of years that I am just going to put him here at 11. He could easily be up into where the Hurts category and Lawrence category is, but honestly, he could also continue to keep getting hurt, and all of a sudden you look at the RG3 pathway, some Michael Vick pathway. He had some other issues as well. Michael Vick has had some amazing fantasy things. Lamar is the quarterback that could finish as quarterback 1 overall on 2023 season. He also could get hurt and end up being a huge issue and problem for Baltimore. So, number 12, Jonathan Taylor. I love Jonathan Taylor here. This is kind of the last part of the tier 1 running backs. I mean, I have Breece and Bijan easily over JT, that extra couple of years of age. But JT here, he is that elite talent, and I'm going to take him here. But again, we're talking about, again, tiers. So if you had number 13, which is Kyle Pitts, the extreme disappointment at tight end, but ultimately still extremely young in his 3rd year, doesn't have a quarterback still. Maybe Tyler Heineke's the quarterback. Maybe it's Ritter. I have no idea. It's a mess there. And they keep putting weapons around him. They got Bijan, they got Drake London, and they have Kyle Pitts. You could say that Bijan is the most talented running back. And you have Kyle Pitts, who's the most talented tight end, in my opinion, just athletic-wise. And you could say that Drake London is a top, probably athletic-wise, he could be in the realms of a top 12 wide receiver. So you could have some crazy athletic, great positional players. You just don't have a quarterback. They need a quarterback. I mean, if I were them, man, if Kirk Cousins is a quarterback that ends up having issues with Minnesota and ends up leaving, Atlanta, take it. Like, or Atlanta, they need that quarterback that's not the Carson Wentz, that's not the Matt Ryan, that are basically the end of their careers. They need that quarterback that is going to have that second stint, that third stint, or whatever it might be. The Derek Carrs, like, that is that type of quarterback. And Derek Carr, the writing's on the wall. Maybe he ends up getting benched in New Orleans and ends up being a disappointment, but gosh, take Jameson, take somebody, take Winston. I think maybe Taylor Heineke he's okay, but yeah. Anyways, Kyle Pitts, 13. Number 14, we got to get into some wide receivers here. CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is one of the most talented wide receivers in the NFL. I said that during his draft prospecting a couple years ago, that CeeDee Lamb had every single attribute that you would want for him to be an elite wide receiver, and he has done nothing but impress-ish kind of the last year, I would say. I was going to say nothing but impress, but I was going to say his rookie year was a little bit slower, but he has made some amazing catches. He has had some really good production, and now he's starting to be hyper-targeted and been the alpha there. And so, number 14, CeeDee Lamb. And why I have him over number 15, which is Jalen Waddle, is clearly because only because CeeDee Lamb can be the alpha. Waddle right now is going to be the beta. He's going to be the best beta that you can ever have. Yes, he's going to be ahead of Tyreek Hill, but in fantasy-wise, the next year or two, he's probably going to be behind Tyreek Hill. He's just still super young, 24 years old. Jalen Waddle, even at 26, think about that. 2 years, 26. He's now he could be the alpha in Miami as long as Tua stays healthy and still produce at a high level. Jalen Waddle is an extremely talented. I mean, look at I always like to look at some of these like punt returner, kick returners, and how crazy great they are in college, and all of a sudden they turn into the NFL, and his ability to be a joystick is ridiculous. And then you have Tyreek Hill that just opens up the field for Jalen Waddle to be all underneath and big plays and just breaks it loose. And so Waddle's the guy that can get you 3 for 105 and a touchdown. Not many wide receivers can break things off at 60, 70, 80 yard to chunk, and Waddle and Tyreek Hill both do that, but Waddle's here at 15. 16, Justin Fields. Some of these quarterbacks I can easily take ahead. Like, if I'm in the actual draft, depending on how I want my roster set, I might be taking number 16 and number 18 a little bit higher. Probably going to be taking them higher, honestly. Not that I want the rankings higher, it's just yeah, Justin Fields, there's just so much injury risk, again, with some of these running quarterbacks. I'm putting him here at 16, but there are drafts, depending on what my focus is, that I would have him ahead, and then there's some ones I'm just like, okay, I'll just take Waddle, and then I'll take the other quarterback in round 2 or round 3, or take a couple in round 2 and round 3. So Fields, we're just going to put him at 16. Number 17, A.J. Brown, Alpha and Eagles, and he just look at last year. He was a dominant force. It's a scary man. Number 18, Dak Prescott, again, another quarterback that could move up a little bit, and if he is here at 18, middle of that second round in Dynasty startups, I'm okay with taking him slightly earlier if you're a team that wants to reach for quarterback. Again, a lot of these are tier-based, and so when you look at a tier, you go, okay, well, like I said, that tier 5 through 8, does that mean Lawrence has to be at 8? No, it means that Lawrence could be at 5. When I have a kind of a group of 12 to 18, you could really, I'm not trying to cop out, but I'm just saying 12 to 18 could really be JT. It could be Dak. I mean, the difference between JT and Dak in Dynasty, or even like Pitts and Dak, is probably be very negligible. And so if you want to take Dak at 13 and Pitts at 18, like, it's so minor that honestly we could be talking. I mean, I could talk in 3 weeks and some of these numbers would be just switched around a little bit. Maybe then I'll be like, oh, Fields just jumped Waddle. And then like another couple weeks go by, and then I'm like, oh, Waddle just hopped back to Fields. It's so close. Number 19, Jahmyr Gibbs. This is, again, where we start to fall off a little bit here, just because this is kind of where that tier break is, 12 to 18. Then we get back to another tier where I would rather have Dak over Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is an excellent rookie running back, first-round draft capital, Detroit. But again, he is in a different tier. You got to push him into a different tier, in my opinion. And then number 20 is Mark Andrews. We got to finish it off with another tight end here, and he is that positional difference that makes it very hard for somebody to beat you in fantasy when you have that elite tight end. So he's here at number 20. So I hope everyone has a great July 4th. Let me know what crazy rankings that you think that I'm absolutely nuts on. Again, some of these are tiers, so we have to be very cautious, and it's why a lot of times if I'm at 12, if I have 112 and 201, I'll take somebody at 112. Maybe if there's a player that drops, I'll take that one player that drops, and then I'll try to trade 201 and get out of that position and be like, hey, I'll take it. I'll take an earlier third, let's say 205 and 307 wants to trade with my 201 and 312. I'll do that flip. And maybe I'll even ask for something a little bit later, like a 7th round flip or whatever it might be. Because then I'm okay with still staying in the tier. And I'm like, whatever. The difference between me is, again, negligible. But that is how you make the great trades if you still stay in that tier, but also get some more draft capital. All right, this is Marcus Dynasty with Dads. Peace out. Take care. Have a wonderful 4th of July.